Well, did you see that? I'll do it again in slow motion. Just as I was getting lined up on this hog, it disappeared down into the creek. Well, I followed the hog down into the next pasture, Carpe Sus. And it's way off in the distance already. And that's going to be too far away for me to try to take a shot. So I'm going to need to move up on it again. And by the time I get to where I think I can shoot at it...
So that boar is safe on the other side of the fence. It should make it on the neighbor's property.
So yeah, it's on the neighbor's property. Why is it on the neighbor's property? Because the neighbors had this nice green winter wheat field that you see there in the distance. And while they have killed a lot of hogs on that side of the fence, that winter wheat field is attracting hogs from the property that I hunt. Well, that was about 7 o'clock in the evening. It's now about 5 hours later. And I've got hogs there in the distance. I'd actually been away from the property, checking other properties, and had come back. I'm back to my original parking area. I spy these hogs. I've stalked up a couple hundred yards to get closer to them. Something doesn't look right. I get out my phone and check my position on the map. And I'm figuring out that these hogs aren't on my side of the fence. In fact, in this image I am off the map down below the image, and the hogs are way up there. They're actually across a public road, so there is no shot there. So I turned around and was heading back to the truck, and in my haste to get to those two hogs, I passed up this one boar that is on my side of the fence. And I'm going to be taking a shot at it with my Lone Star Armory TX15 Multi-Purpose Carbine Enhanced and 6.5 Grendel, through which I'll be shooting some Maker Rex bullets loaded by Druid Hill Armory in the Starline brass. I want to make sure that the identification, it's a pig. That one connects, and he stops. I drop him right there.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
The spoor came in at 220 pounds. The next 2 nights ended up with no hogs, but on the 3rd night, Carpe Canis, the landowner here, does not like coyotes. The coyote goes down at 155 yards, a deer goes running by, and the coyote starts moving around a bit. I didn't hear a thump with that shot, so there I heard a good thump, and the deer goes running by again, and I've got a nice 34-pound male coyote. As I was leaving the property, I spied these 2 hogs down there in the bottoms next to the big tank. And they're busy working somewhere in the mud. I'm not exactly sure what they're going after there. So here I've moved up, and you can watch the hog on the left flicking mud out of the ground. So they're rooting up something right at that spot. I don't have any livestock in the area. I've got the one egret out there in the water, waiting for a good opportunity. And the hog on the right moves to the left. I shoot it, it takes off. That shot fails to connect, and I lose that hog in the heavy brush. He's actually in the next pasture somewhere behind all the trees. And I notice my initial hog is down, but is moving around quite a bit. And I don't want to shoot through all of that thick brush, all the branches that you see there. So I put the safety on, and I decide that maybe I can move off to the left and get a better shot on the hog. So here I'm stepping over a few steps to the left. Oh, that's not enough. few more steps. Looking a little better, but there's still a couple heavy branches in the way. So no, that's not going to work. And finally, I've got a fairly clear shot. Some light branches. But I connect, and I'm certain that the hog isn't going to move before I can drive around and collect it with the truck. And it turned out to be a 105-pound boar. Moving on to the next property, I've got what I think is a boar down in the lower pasture. And you might have just heard me saying, hey, hey, hey. I had a skunk walk up to within about 3 feet of me and was checking me out. And I did not want to scare the skunk, but I didn't want him any closer. Here I've moved up. The hog is down there by the tank. He's disappeared behind the ridge around the tank. And I've got fences in front of me. I actually have 2 rows of fences. And so I decide that maybe if I move back and higher up on the hill, I'll get a better angle down into the low area where the hog is. I figured that isn't going to work out so well with the fences. I'm still not high enough and I'm going to have to move too far away. So I decided to move all the way down to the fences. By the time I get there, the hog has come out from the tank. And it is graciously walking towards me. Alright, at 55 yards, here we go. The hog is still partially upright, so I stay on it. Then watch the tail. It starts doing what the Brits call a helicopter tail when they're ratting. The tail goes round and round and round, indicating that the hog is probably deceased. And finally it rolled on over, and it was a 110-pound boar, and he did it for my hunts. And in checking him over, I noticed that he had a particularly high parasite load for the winter. He had some hog lice, which I expected. They're not any threat to humans. He had what appeared to be some deer ticks, which are a threat to humans due to Lyme disease. And he also had these guys with the spots that are Lone Star ticks, and they can cause beef allergies in humans. And for those of you that are interested, take a look at Carpe Analysis of Trauma Diaries number 39. I'll be taking a look at how some of the shots were made, what went right, what went wrong. I don't have any necropsies in this video, but I will be looking at some of the damage done by the bullets, and you can find a link for it at the end of this video. For those of you who are interested in what's going on with this hog's head, this is actually the first hog I ever shot with a thermal weapon sight, and it had a previous wound on it. This is a behind the ear shot, a through and through shot. This is the exit wound that had partially healed. So this hog had survived being shot right behind the ears to the point where the wound had started healing up. Carpe sus, my friends.